Good morning, good morning. You are now tuned in to another edition of It's Too Early for All That. I am your humble host, Jay, filmmaker, animator, your guide to everything under the sun. I've got coffee in hand, excitement in my heart, and I'm ready to kick the day off with some fresh, hot takes. And I'm joined by none other than my ride or die, my right hand man, my left hand man, Lee. How are you doing today, my good friend?
I'm addicted to Radical Red. How are you?
I don't know. It sounds like a Power Ranger or something. I don't know. Radical Red. It sounds like, is that a crayon?
It should be. It's crazy that
It's a
you brought
great
up Power
color,
Rangers.
man.
That's going to connect to something later. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Well, before we get into that, this weekend, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight took place over on Netflix Live. It was the fight went the distance between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and they said something like 90 million people watched it live streamed. What are your thoughts?
I did not get to see it. I sort of tried to watch it live, and then it fucked up for a second. And then I just ended up checking out Don to Don dubbed. That's what I did that. And then I went to sleep. That's what I did that night. Yeah, I don't know the fuck. Everything I heard about it sounded awful. It sounded like, and it sounds like you can't talk about it, like how awful it was.
I can talk about it very much so. I can talk about it a lot. It was very, very awful.
Okay.
It was a fight between Jake Paul. It was a fight between Mike Tyson, and the fans lost. To be honest with you, the fans lost. We saw a young man in his prime beat on an old man who was literally crying in between rounds in the corner and biting his thumb like this to stay awake because he was that old.
Mike Tyson's that old?
Mike Tyson is that. Mike Tyson is 60. So Roy Jones Jr. called the fight. Roy Jones Jr. was the last person Mike Tyson fought in the ring professionally or exhibition, whatever we call this weird boxing thing, this exhibition.
Yeah.
They fought in 2020 or 2022. I can't remember. But even both of them gassed out midway into the fight because they're both retired champions. And they both were basically whispering in their ear, like, let's just get to the home run. We need the money, champ. So
Right.
I think around the second round, you see Mike Tyson's knee lock, and Roy Jones is a commentator, and he goes, "Oh, his knee just locked. I felt that before. He's not going to be able to walk. That injury sucks." And then for the rest of the fight, like Mike Tyson is just hopping around the ring, and I do have to say one thing though, major respect to Jake Paul, because he could have easily knocked out Mike Tyson, but he didn't. He just let him limp along to the finish line because he realized nobody wants to see Mike Tyson get beat on. Nobody wants to see Mike Tyson get flatlined. And I'm glad Jake Paul knew that. But at the end, when they were calling the winner, Logan Paul is just, I don't know, that guy's just scum, dude. Like, I don't like that guy.
Which one is that?
I don't like that guy.
Which one's that?
He's the one that filmed the dead body in Japan.
Okay.
Jake Paul is the one I like. I like Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is cool. I think he's a cool person.
Okay.
So they're talking trash, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's like, "Oh, we had a good fight," and then I think Mike Tyson was kind of joking. He kind of looks over at Logan and he goes, "Oh, you're next." Obviously, like nobody wants to see him fight again, but he just kind of says it like jokingly, like, "You're next." And then Logan Paul sees, and they put the mic on Logan. Logan goes, "Motherfucker, I'll kill you." And then everybody is just like, yeah, we're just watching this Vine superstar just disrespect Mike Tyson, and then like Logan, he like laughed over like, ha ha ha, he like trying to clean it up, because he's trying to like keep the moment about him and Mike. But that's what Logan does, man. Logan is jealous of his little brother, bro. Like if you see any interaction with them, he's super jealous of him, bro. He always tries to take Jake's moment and make it about him. And then I'm thinking back, that's what that was about. He was trying to take the moment and make it about him,
I say in that embarrassing shit.
It's about Jake. Yeah.
No, yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. He's always doing that. So that's just another example, I don't know. I know you might not follow them, but I do. I watched the episode. He had Jake on after one of his other fights. I can't remember who Jake fought. It was some other rigged fight he had.
I know of them somewhat. I always get their names mixed up, though.
And Logan is the older one. Jake is the baby brother. And then Logan goes like, "Why didn't you let me bring my prime into the ring?" And he goes, bro, what don't you understand? I'm sponsored by Celsius, the energy drink. They don't want to promote Prime, your Gatorade drink. You can't bring any Prime logos on
Around me.
anything that Celsius is paying for.
Eh,
What don't you? He's like, yeah, but I'm your brother.
So
He's
what?
like, I get you, my brother, but they're paying for the fight. Like, what don't you get about this? He's like, you should be able to just, tell the contrary. That's my brother. That's how he gets down. He's like, you're not coming in my ring on my night and getting free advertisement for your drink. Like, it's just not gonna happen. And he's just like, that's fucked up. I wouldn't listen to a contractor because we're brothers. And he's just like, I just can't believe that you would just, Logan was like really trying to Jake was really trying to explain to his brother, but of course his brother was being a narcissist. But hey,
He's not. That's not narcissist. He's crazy.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy.
He's
Yeah,
he's
it's
old
just
enough, and
you want to
he's
do what you want to hear.
in the business.
Yeah,
He knows what this is. He's
yeah.
crazy.
He's crazy. Because if I say the same thing to him, if we have a wrestling match, he has a WWE match, and he wants to have, I don't know, a Prime bottle to be the referee, and I go, well, my ring girl is in the shape of a Gatorade bottle. You know how fucking mad that guy would get? You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Fuck out of here, dude. Like, yeah, whatever.
He's that broy.
Yeah, pretty much. He's on
And he
steroids,
like,
man. Of course he
and
is.
he like almost. How old is he? Isn't he in his 30s by now? Like early 30s?
Old enough to do better,
All right.
but obviously he's showing dead bodies in Japan. He ain't never gonna grow up, dog. I got no faith in that cat. Jake is the truth. Logan, he can hold the L forever, an eternal L, bro. L for Logan.
Just like the kids would
All
say.
right, that's mine. Yeah, that's me. Just like the kids would say.
Yeah.
Moving on. The
Moving on.
Department of Justice plans to ask for a federal judge to force Google to sell off Chrome browser in an effort to break up their search engine monopoly. How does that make you feel? And what does that mean for the state of your incognito browser?
That too. I would really have to think about it. Like initial thoughts, just hearing it, I sort of think, why take the extra steps? I would have to like research this more, but it just feels like superficial bullshit. It's like people like Chrome, like people don't care about Chrome having your information, just like they didn't care about Facebook having your information. What they do with that information, they sort of care about, but even then, they don't give a fuck. So I like that it's a good me liking that regulations are in place and the checks and balances are doing what they're supposed to do. But this is also a bit of like,
Yes.
I don't know, they built up their own browser, they did their own thing. It's working out. But then again, I guess who else could compete? But I don't know if this is going to help competition at all. I don't know if this is a move that's going to help it. This is just initial, without having time to think, thoughts.
I don't think people understand just how big Google really is and how like huge their search engine data is. Like the Google AdWords company is. Google has so many successful businesses that can make like 10 to 20, 30, 40 million dollars that they choose to let those businesses fail so that they can keep pouring money into Google AdWords. Like, you just hear what I said. Like, they will have a business. This bitch will be making 30, $40 million a year. And they'll be like, shut it down. Let's focus on the AdWords. Like, they're just like, that's how much money is on the table.
Well, sort of makes sense.
AdWords, bro.
Yeah.
Just AdWords. I mean, they have so many. You could just literally, you can go to like Google and just type in, shut down Google's ventures. And your mind will just be blown. The amount of stuff that they just walk away from, like super successful businesses. So people don't understand how big of a lock that they have just on browsers with them owning search engines and being able to like destroy and take part in businesses if they're just like, no, we won't list you anymore. And then they just like 60-80% of your traffic is just gone. So
disgusting. Yeah.
I don't think, it's crazy, but I don't think people understand. I don't even think the people that are making the laws are going after them understand quite how big Google and the amount of power they have. So I don't think this is going to do it. I think if you're going to do something, you really want to break it up, you're going to have to do something with more measures that's more overstepping personally. And it's going to piss off a lot of people that are like pro-capitalist, but you're never going to be Google, bro. Like, chill out. Like, you know what I mean? Just because you got like a multi-million-dollar business, you're not Google, bro. Like, you don't realize they have a monopoly. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know how to put it, because it's just
No, it's like, yeah,
people think that they're on the level of, like, people don't understand quite how big these corporations are. They don't understand quite how big Amazon is, or like the level in which they crush everybody. And then they're just like sitting there talking about, I'm gonna start the next album from my garage. Just like, no, it's impossible. It's certain scenes that you watch. Like, if you ever watch Silicon Valley, it's like it's actually the first episode, I think, when the main character starts his startup, and then he sits in like the booth with the guy that has the big Microsoft type company, and the guy sits in the booth with him, and he goes, I get it. You're starting off strong, and you want to be like a clean company. You don't want to be me because I'm the big oligarch, And he's like, I started in your shoes and I became this. It's going to happen. So let me buy you, like, he was
right.
just, the whole show was just like, yeah, he was just let me buy you. Just like, quit fighting. Let me buy you. And of course he never sold. And then at the end of the show, he never sold the company. They never made the money. It was kind of a joke, but that's what he was trying to avoid, was becoming part of the big oligarch, the big Google, the big buyout, which is going to happen because they don't let anybody get big. I think the last tech company, I'm just going off of thoughts, the last company that we saw get big and like become a partner might be Snapchat. I mean, American company.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Facebook tried to buy it, and then they said no, and then they went to become like really big, and they're still pretty big. So I think it's like Snapchat, but everything else always gets snapped up around the
Well, yeah, don't
$1 or
they?
$2
Don't
billion.
those companies usually like suck them up, take apart anything that's useful, and then just dump out the rest of it?
Dump it. They
Yeah.
do it to so much tech, man. It's crazy. I can tell you offhand, there was this one app. It was amazing, bro. It was this. This goes to tell you like why I don't believe that all these corporations should just be buying up all these startups. This is off topic, but it was this startup, and it had its app. I can't remember the name of the app, but the app had articles, and you know how there's always like these large think piece articles for like New York Times or the New Yorker or something, and
Right.
people want to read it, but they just don't have the time. They literally paid professional voiceover actors or anybody that wanted to be a professional voiceover actor. You could apply to it, read the article, make money, and then people would pay to listen to you read the article. And then people were like reading work, voiceover actors were getting paid. It was just a win. And the newspaper was getting more reads. Out of nowhere, I'm like listening to this app every day. I'm listening to like 2 or 3 different articles about the most random things that I always wanted to read about, but I just didn't have the time. I'm having people read it to me. And then just out of nowhere, I just get an email talking about, oh yeah, Dropbox is buying us. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, maybe Dropbox will keep them open. They're like, no, Dropbox just wants the tech. And it's like, what tech? They just shut
Like,
the app down. Like, what tech, bro? Like, y'all just store files on servers. Like, what tech did you need from this app that people read articles? Like, what was the tech? There was no tech. They just bought it, shut the shit down. All the voiceover actors, all the read, everything just went away. And it was just a great app. I mean, that's just like one of many examples I could just see of corporations just buying up little companies and just throw them in the trash.
yeah.
No, we don't want no competition. Just no competition. Just throw that shit in the trash. So yeah, I think if they're gonna do it, it needs to be like more intrusive. Personally, yeah, I'm for the government on this one. I think the government needs to go bigger on this one. I'm serious.
I don't know. I mean, so yeah, it's one of those sticky wickets or one of them slippery slopes.
It's not that slippery. I mean, you got to think
Well, I
about
mean, like,
it,
if you
man.
do
Is it
this,
really? Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, people think it's that hard because this is such a big corporation. It's like, no, it should not exist. This company
Okay,
should not be this big.
there's like, where's the line then? Then you have to define the line of like, you have to cap, like market cap. How big can a company get then before we have to be this intrusive about it?
It should be smaller because you can't
But it's
be
like, yeah, how do
buying
you
all
allow
the
growth then? Like,
politicians.
what is?
You can't have it to where your corporation is buying all the politicians so that we can pass
No, I agree. I'm just
high
wondering,
speed
like,
internet laws for you,
yeah,
and then you basically are represented more than the people that actually vote and pay taxes, and you're literally showing me like, Mr. Beast on YouTube. You think because you show me Mr. Beast on YouTube, you're more valuable to the? I guess maybe hey, some people would think they're more valuable to the government than little Miss Consuela down the street who makes empanadas. I don't know. Maybe they do. Probably. Well, you know what I mean? Hey, they're like, hey, at least Google gives me directions. Fuck Miss Consuela. She doesn't give me directions nowhere, you know? And it's true. But at the end of the day, a corporation is a corporation. A person is a person. So,
No, I agree with
yeah.
that. No, my whole thing was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
trying to figure out where the
Where does the
line
line
is.
end? The line
What
ends.
is growth? Like, how much growth is allowed? Then you have to define that. And then it starts going
That's a
against
good question.
America. I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, that's all
Do
I
I
was going
think
to
it's
say.
going to get, yeah. Is it going to get legs underneath the Trump administration? Probably not, because, you know, Trump is all about, you know, corporations. So, I mean, whole lawsuit might not go anywhere. Who knows? What's your topic, bro?
So earlier today, there's this, I was watching this guy. I was just letting YouTube do its thing. And there's this dude on YouTube named Veritas Joe or something like that. And he just talks about Power Rangers. And so I was feeling nostalgic as fuck. Yeah. And just started listening to him talk
Okay.
about Power Rangers from like the years that I've missed. Because I stopped watching it when I was about 10, 11 or something like that. But I know a lot of people kept going. You know, like Sonic the Hedgehog fans and shit like that, but not as socially unfortunate. But anyway, who should? Okay, do you remember that Power Rangers movie that they tried to do? I think it was Lionsgate. Or not
Yes,
tried to do, they did it.
the 61.
It was something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like shitting on that movie, which I totally disagree with because I think that movie's fine. I don't think it's like super good or anything. But I think it's like I think it's just a great, solid, just fucking Power Rangers ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it's
I thought it
it's
was
one of those
fine.
situations where I think this is what I was going to spin off into. Where I was going to ask you, like, for that movie, I feel like it would have benefited from not a sequel movie or like, you know, two other movies, but like that movie serving as a pilot for like a limited series or some series on like a streaming service for like that iteration
Yeah.
of Power Rangers or some shit like that. So I was wondering, like, what else is there? Like, what other movie do you see being that, like a nice vehicle to spin something off into what should be like a limited series or a streaming series or something like that? Because I was also going to say Dracula Untold. They should have kept going with that universe. They were trying to make that a cinematic universe. I actually like that movie.
You know what I wouldn't mind seeing?
Talk to me.
Creed turn into a TV show.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
I wouldn't mind seeing not necessarily it even focusing on Creed. I don't even, because to be honest with you, I think all the story that's been really interesting has kind of already been told with him in the first two. I think the third one was basically a rehash of Rocky 4 or Rocky 5. Yes, the fifth one. Yeah. It's a better version of Rocky 5, but it's the same movie. Rocky's really successful. He helps out a younger, hungry guy who he thinks he's supposed to help. The guy fucks him over, and then Rocky has to beat the shit out of him. Literally, same exact storyline for Creed 3. So, which goes to tell me that we're kind of at the end of like storylines for Creed.
Yeah.
I would like to see what they kind of explored in the last one is that his daughter becomes a boxer. His daughter's deaf, and she's a child boxer. So I'd be like, that'd be pretty cool. Female child boxing. Put them underground, make it a little illegal. You're whetting my appetite. And then people are like, wait a minute, you're having children fight for your entertainment. And then I'm just like, hey, I'm just taking the bets. You know what I mean? I'm just giving the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. I'm just like
looking.
you in this economy. Hey. I pay them fair. I pay these kids very fair.
I was right.
I'm no Dana.
Yeah. I thought we were going to do
But
some
no,
maybe like, you know, Rocky Jr.'s like fucking Karate Kid style shit. I thought maybe
that's where I would go. I mean, if I had to write it and then you make it for people to enjoy.
Yeah,
Safe route.
Yeah,
but if I'm gonna do it for me and mine's, the people what the streets want, you know, the opening card, dog fight, main event, children fight. You feel me? Like, you know,
Fight Club Babies.
Annie. Friday night.
Annie : Fight Club. Fight Club.
Friday night tyke fight.
Felt bad. I talked over that fight. That's genius.
Yeah. Friday night tyke fight.
I spoke over that the first time. That's crazy.
Kids fighting, squabbing. Place your bet.
Squab.
We got a 12-year-old Dominican. He looks 30. Hey, he showed us a birth certificate. He's undefeated. Is he gonna keep the belt or is he gonna lose it to this other 12-year-old? Who knows?
Kid's hands are like lightning. Can't even see him fucking jabs.
My underground fight cards are more exciting than Jake Paul's. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would take the Creed series. I would make it. I would explore the little girl fighting. or maybe another side character in the world, and just kind of go off of that.
Yeah, it'd
But
be
I would
cool
do
to
that.
see
And
that,
then
like scenes of that
Creed would
shit in a
kind of be
Netflix
like
series.
Creed would kind of be like Batman, and the Penguin, kind of come around for a couple episodes, just linger. What you doing? And then he would leave. But the
Maybe
show
he'd be
would really be
training her.
about or it would be about something else. It'd be
Yeah,
fun. It'd be fun.
that's a good one. Yeah.
It's a great question though. What about you? What movie would you want to see?
It was Power Rangers. That's what made me think of it.
You want to see Power Rangers, that
That iteration of
Power
it, that
Rangers?
Lionsgate one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. Well, this has been another episode of It's Too Early for All That. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button so you're notified of all the upcoming episodes. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week.
Maybe. Nah, it's fine.